Welcome back to This Mama Loves. So I want to discuss Weight Watchers, and I guess we'll cover my weigh-in for this week, which was my first weigh-in of the new year. Now, I am hoping this video comes out okay. I've been having problems with my video and audio syncing, so if it is out of sync, I do apologize. So I'm going to try to make this a short video. Okay, so I guess we'll start with over the holidays. Over the holidays, was rough. It was hard trying to keep up with staying on track and planning. I don't know what to say. I guess we'll start with Christmas. So Christmas week was not so bad because we don't have a lot of events for Christmas. We just have Christmas dinner, which I cook. So Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are two busy days for me because I start cooking on Christmas Eve, and we also bake chocolate chip cookies for Santa for Christmas. So that he can have with a glass of milk Christmas Eve night when he comes and delivers the presents. So I made chocolate chip cookies with the girls, which I think they overworked the batter this time around, so it didn't really come out that great. So I didn't have an urge to eat those cookies. And for Christmas dinner, I tried to supplement some of the ingredients for more low point ingredients. Like I made mac and cheese because my stepson requested mac and cheese. So I used fat-free half and half as a substitute for milk, or well, I usually use evaporated milk when I make my mac and cheese, and I use the fat-free cheddar cheese. And I used the like egg beaters, but I used the Myers brand, which is, I think it's called like Expectations, I want to say. So I used that in place of eggs. So all of that lowered the point value of the mac and cheese, aside from the macaroni, because I'm not a fan of like whole grain macaroni, pastas and blah blah blah. So I use regular schmegular macaroni. When I made a mashed potato casserole, like it's almost like a twice baked potato casserole, but my oldest girl does not like homemade mashed potatoes. She don't like lumps, so I used instant. And again, to substitute, I used half and half fat-free, half and half, and milk, not milk, I'm sorry, and water as a substitute. For butter, I used Country Crock Light as a substitute for butter, and same thing, I did use cheddar cheese on top. Again, that was the fat-free cheddar. So in the recipes where I could, I tried to substitute lower point ingredients to help bring down the point value of what I'm making. So I was very conscious in weighing out my foods for Christmas dinner, and I did it to the point where I even had enough points for apple pie, a thin slice, but I had enough points for apple pie. It was like the lattice topped apple pie, so that went great. And they love Hawaiian rolls. That's not what I grew up with, but that's what I got. That's what they love. So they had that. I don't think I had a Hawaiian roll with my food. Day after I made a little sandwich because I also made ham, which I couldn't lower my point value for my ham other than when I make like a little sauce. It's not even really a sauce. It's like how I prep it and cook it. I use canned pineapples and maraschino cherries, and I mix the juice of the pineapples and the cherries to baste the ham. And I usually also mix in with the juice brown sugar. So for the brown sugar, I used Swerve brown sugar instead, which is like a sugar substitute, so that sugar was 0 points. Other than that, so what I did with like leftovers as far as the ham went, which a bunch of it is like in our deep freezer now, but as far as the ham went, like the next day or two, if I wanted like a quick bite or like a lunch or something, I used the Hawaiian roll and I used like a slice, not a big slice because the Hawaiian rolls aren't big, and I only did one Hawaiian roll, and I put like a little bit of the Country Crock Light and the ham, little small ham slice, to make a little sandwich, which wasn't killer points. I mean, it's not the best way because it's a small thing, but I also paired up like whatever that was light, like sometimes it'll be fruit or whatever, because I did buy a big fruit tray also. So and I was shocked to find that when I did my weigh-in after Christmas, I was actually down. It was less than a pound. It was like 0.8, but I was down regardless, and I did not feel like I was eating the best. I mean, I still had some weekly points left over, but not much. But I was down 0.8 pounds. I did try as best I could during the week to try to stick to my regular routines outside of the holiday day. So I feel like that helped. Going into I'm sorry, not Thanksgiving, but going into New Year's Eve, throughout the week I tried to do the same thing, but it was much more difficult because my weigh-in days are on Saturdays. So that Saturday after Christmas, we went out with friends for dinner. Well, we like a day out, and we went out to dinner. So that dipped into my weekly points. During Sunday, Monday, I pretty much stayed within my daily points, maybe like 2 points or 3 points over into weeklies, but nothing too bad, because I knew New Year's Eve is when I always put out a bunch of hors d'oeuvres. And suffice to say, by the end of the week, I used all my dailies, all my weeklies, heading into my fit points. And I did use a little bit of my fit points too. Now, I totally expected to have a gain. Like, I kept exaggerating, like 5 pounds, but I would not have been surprised if it was 2 pounds, maybe even 3 pounds, because I felt like I just did so bad, and I've never gone into fit points before. So, however, over the last 2-3-ish weeks, I have been incorporating an exercise routine that I have tried to do at least 3 times a day. Now, going back to New Year's week, I only did one day. Christmas week, I did manage to do 3 days, but New Year's, because everybody was home and I just didn't have the time, I only got 1 day in. So that's how that went. So when I went for my weigh-in on Saturday, which is this Saturday just passed, I was surprised that I did not gain. I did not have a gain, and I was completely surprised by that. I also did not have a loss. I was at the same weight as the week before, and I am running with it. I'm taking it. She pushed the paper under the door. Anyways, so I feel like trying to stay on track on days that the holidays did not fall on, I feel like did help. I was aware that that week was going to be very busy for me, and I knew I was going to be dipping into weeklies, even possibly all my weeklies. So I already knew that. So I was already kind of mentally prepared for weight gain, even though I wouldn't have been happy to see the weight gain. What I have learned is it is important for me to be active, to exercise. I have noticed that I see better results. So even if I'm into weeklies or like far over into weeklies, there is more of a chance of me not gaining as well as even losing if I'm exercising. So I would say since I've been doing that, I've kind of been noticing a little bit of a faster weight loss. I hit my 10-pound weight loss about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. About 2 weeks ago. And so I'm currently at 11 pounds, just over 11 pounds weight loss. And I've started in April or May. I want to say April. I know it was definitely after Easter. Not 100%. Matter of fact, do I have my phone? I don't know what my phone is. Anyways. Well, whenever it was. So I'm not the fastest at losing. A lot of that is my own fault. You know, I struggle with late night snacking. So that tends to be a big downfall for me. I notice that on days when I manage not to indulge in that late night snack, again, I'm losing more, or my loss is more consistent. So I'm trying to make sure that I have more healthier options, but I'm really feeling peckish late at night because I'm a night owl. So I try to have more fruit on hand that I know will satisfy me. So that's my takeaway anyways. So yes, I just wanted to share that and say that it is a slow process and we need to be patient with ourselves. Even if we gain, I've had a lot of gains. As I've dropped, I've had gains. And it is important for me to talk myself back from self-sabotage, from feeling like, oh my God, here I am. I can't do this. I might as well give up. And that's something I've done in the past. I've never stuck with the Weight Watchers program for more than like 3 months at a time. And so this time, this is the longest I've stuck with it consistently. And even though I have my setbacks, my gains, this is something that I'm just not going to throw the towel in on. So, yeah, so that is my weigh-in for the beginning of the year. So I am happy to start off 2020 with a no gain, no loss. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I will just soldier on and just keep working the program. Thank you for watching. Bye.